It's me.
That's hi. It's me.
No, she says hello. Doesn't she? How's that song go? Hello, it's me.
Who? Hey, Dutch, what's up?
Dutch. Good to see you,
Probably
Dutch.
do
Been
this.
missing you, Dutch. How's it going, Dutch?
You're in a weird mood.
Just trying to get through the day.
I know the feeling.
Just trying to get through the day. It's been a day.
Been a day. It's been a day.
So I guess we're gonna wait a few minutes and let everybody come on in and mind and body. What up, Henry? What up, Henry? Henry and Dutch. Dutch and Henry.
Henry Dutch, Dutch and Henry.
Henry and Dutch. Dutch Henry. So I wonder if anybody noticed that YouTube took our channel away for 2 hours.
It wasn't me. It wasn't us. It was me. I messed up.
Wow.
It was saying, because my Google name is Robin Big Bear Homestead. And since I have the Big Bear Homestead email, my email, and your email all on the same email, when it came up, I just saw the Big Bear Homestead part and I freaked out. To say the least.
To say the minus.
Mm-hmm. So.
I have what? Weekend?
I have weekend.
I have weekend.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither. Don't we all have weekends? I wonder if he said he had, like, he had.
I had a weekend. Could be.
Like, it must have been a bad weekend.
Oh, I was planning on taking a shower at the gym today.
Yep.
So I didn't wash my hair.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to wash my hair this evening because it's getting a little.
I think I'm gonna wash it. I'm gonna try and wash my hair in our special bath tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're brave.
I know. I'm a psycho.
Maybe I'll help you so that it goes faster.
Yeah. Hope you guys are doing okay.
Since the storm has passed.
We're gonna have a video coming out talking all about that.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of trying to live like humans again. Mama Z's Texas Kitchen.
What's up?
Oops. That was Misty. Your message today was like a ray of sunshine.
Oh, what'd she say?
We had an awful day today. Her daughter graduated #1 in her class.
Awesome. I haven't had a chance. Friday I have to go to work again. So I guess he's been on vacation kind of thing.
I'm trying to remember what he does. He might be in a
Oh, look who's here. Kyle. Mm-hmm.
Kyle.
Look at the last name. What's the first letter of the last name?
We got 4 people in here. Trip H.
Mm-hmm. That's who it is, Trip H.
So we got about 10 more seconds, and I guess then we're just going to start the show.
That will work for me. We have a lot of people that don't come. We have a lot of people that don't show up right when we. Who was it that showed up at the end last time? Oh, I
It
know.
was Geeky Gardens, wasn't it?
No, it was Pooper Scooper.
Billy Bob Eubanks.
So I'm gonna.
Or was he just lurking? The lurkers. Okay, so I know any of y'all that were in the storm's path are like us. You are very sensitive to weather reports right now.
Especially since there was like a heads up that there might be another one
Might be
coming.
another one coming. Oh, and there might be another one coming now too.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, but it's kind of out there in the ocean
Good.
for a little bit. They didn't even give it a name yet. It's like H1N1 something. I don't know. The H2567 divided by the square root of pi or something. I don't know. It's stupid.
Now that's funny.
But one of the things that, well, you know what? Before we get into this topic, I need to get on my soapbox.
Ah, yeah, you do.
Because I feel like, well, one, because this is not a typical Jason soapbox to get on. And a lot of you know Carol went off to college. And her college is about an hour and some change away, depending on traffic. And Carol is really taking in the college experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's very active. She's doing this thing called Eagle Beaks and the choir.
Eagle Wings.
They're both singing things. She's in the debate club, which she'll probably end up being the president because she can argue with a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
She's in a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing club. She's in a survivalist club.
Outdoor
survivalist club. What else did she say? Oh, she's going to be doing the band next semester. She has to learn how to read music in order to get in there. She's very, very active. Well, this past weekend, Friday, wasn't it Friday?
Yes, it was Friday.
Her choir was singing the national anthem at the homecoming.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I didn't get footage of it because I was not going to pay $5. Well, one, they only accepted cash.
Yep.
And I was not going to reach into my emergency cash fund to pay $5
For 5 minutes.
for a couple of minutes of the national anthem. Not that I don't love the national anthem and I don't love my child, but I felt like that, especially with these economic trying times, that $5 plus it was kind of packed, so we would only really have gotten video of like the back of her head, because of the way that it was set up.
Yeah, it wasn't fancy like on a stage or anything. Like they were literally like on the sidelines with a rinky-dink microphone. Like it wasn't high tech.
They don't have football, so they have football, but it's European football.
Soccer.
We call it soccer.
Yeah, and that's what she was singing for, right? Was it soccer? Yeah.
And right by the soccer field is their baseball field. So we're sitting there, and they start the national anthem. Of course, we stand up. All the baseball players that were having practice stopped.
Took their hats off.
Took their covers off, put it over their heart.
Yep.
And everybody was quiet, except it was like we stepped into a movie set because it was 3 and they were mean girls.
Absolutely. Like, we didn't talk about this, but absolutely. Like, you could tell these were mean girls. Like, right out of the movie. They were eating their, their salad and...
They didn't have, obviously they didn't have home training because they decided that they needed to be in competition with the choir singing the national anthem because they got louder as they were talking, and they stayed on their asses. And I finally looked at them and I said, ladies, they are singing the national anthem. And so they stopped talking.
Rolling their eyes.
And they rolled their eyes.
Whatever.
And then after it was done, the one little blonde hoochie mama, mean girl, said, well, anyway, I had to leave because I was this close to showing my backside there, but I didn't want to embarrass Carol.
Right.
And then we had to hurry up and go over to Eagle Beaks for her
Right, because she
practice.
the choir, it was part of their responsibility to go perform the national anthem, but that didn't stop them from doing their other stuff. Mm-hmm. So they got their 15 minutes to go down there and perform, and then they had to go back to their class. Mm-hmm. And so she had to run up the hill to get to her class. Wow. And but so
the audacity.
And you didn't mention, they never stood up.
They never stood up.
They stayed seated.
They stayed seated. That, like, I'm still debating whether or not I send the college an email. But I don't know if it's worth it because of 3 poorly raised girls.
Well, Odessa said, she looked over at me after it was all done, and she was like, if I did something like that and my dad caught wind of it, I would be dead. I was like, yep.
I mean, this is where you live. This is where you were born. And this is the problem, where there's no more patriotism. There's no more love for country. Everybody wants to boo-hoo and whine and complain about the United States. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we've got our problems. But feel free to go on vacation to a third world country. Mm-hmm. And then come back here and tell me how bad you got it. Or go to China, or go to Russia, or go to Cuba. Mm-hmm. Or go to Jamaica and don't stay in one of the all-inclusive
and stay on property.
all-inclusive resorts, mm-hmm. and go tell me how bad you got it and where your American privilege or white privilege or whatever you want to call it. Tell me where that lands in another country. I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic.
What's up?
Or whatever. Go to a third world country and let them know that you're American. Let's see how well you get treated.
Yeah.
Let's see if your rights that you want to trample all over this flag for. Let's see where they get you. And hopefully you'll be able to make it back home.
Right.
Because then I think, your attitude may change. But that was very disappointing, very heartbreaking to see.
GS Farms. Hello.
To see people behaving this way at a private Christian college. Make no mistake, we pay a lot of money for Carol to go there. And because you want her to be around people who are raised correctly to stop some of this ignorant, woke crap. And it's, I don't know, that really got my goat. And I wanted to get on my soapbox. So if you've got college-aged children,
hey, Niana,
you may want to talk to them and
kids these days, am I right?
may want to tell them that I don't know of a judge that would prosecute you for simple assault if you walked up and smacked the tar fire out of somebody if they were disrespecting the national anthem. But you know,
Got here from Justin Rhodes shouting you out when he stopped at your egg stand. We don't have an egg stand.
don't have an egg stand. Ain't me.
Not sure what.
I mean, I'd appreciate it if he got it
Yeah.
backwards, but we've never had an egg stand.
No, they're not. Yeah. Sadly, the Christian college isn't what they should be. I have to say, with that exception, everything else has been good.
Yeah, that was just one incident, and that's why I didn't write to the dean or anybody like that. It was just one of those that you would hope peer pressure would take care of it. But Dennis, Phil, I'm happy that you're here. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy some of our content that we've got out. Welcome to the Big Bear family. If there's anything that we can do to help you in your homesteading journey,
Let us
know, and if we don't know the answer, we'll point you in the directions to find the answer to somebody who does, because we do not know all. We've been doing this a very, very long time. In fact, we are the first homesteading YouTube channel. And we started our channel just by making videos about mistakes that we made.
Don't do this.
Because there was no resources when we started like this. You know, there was no Justin Rhodes, no Roots and Refuge, no Off-Grid Doug and Stacy, none of them. And
cool.
Thank you. And so we kind of had to learn through books, and like one of our books that we absolutely love and suggest is The Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It by what's that Irishman's name?
John
Seymour.
John Seymour. Okay, so off your soapbox.
I got it off my chest.
So we were talking, and Misty was saying that after Harvey came through, they were that way, like really like monitoring the weather. And as homesteaders, we kind of do it anyway. Not as micro as.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, you're absolutely right, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like we got hammered, but it could have been a lot worse because we weren't listening to the weatherman. We were paying attention to the radar, and we kind of had that feeling. This is going to come our way. And so we battened down the hatches, about 2 days before it got here.
Because we started looking at the projected path, and when you look at a projected path, there's a middle line. And as we were watching the radar as it was turning, we noticed that if the line was here, it was off center. It wasn't completely centered on that line. And we both kind of looked at each other and said, well, what's the worst thing that could happen if we're wrong? We cleaned up some stuff. We got some things organized. We need to do this because if it does stay this course and we don't do these things, we could have a huge mess.
Yeah, and look, I'm not dogging on anybody that got hammered because there's some things that you can control. When you're talking about a natural disaster, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires, there are some things in those things that you can control. But for the most part, there's more things out of your control.
Right.
That you have to just rely on faith and look at it and go, I'll deal with it when it's over. And, like all the trees that we lost that destroyed fences and hit outbuildings and
whatever.
And everything, there was nothing I could do about it at that time.
No.
Now, later on, I may start looking at trees and going, okay, but at the end of the day, a portion of our homestead is wooded. So I'm going to have, anytime I have a big storm like this, I'm going to lose trees.
Well,
and that's just the nature of the beast. It is what it is.
That's why I love having, and we talked about this, that the canine, having the canine to be able to ride and check fences was huge.
Now, I'll be 100% honest. I am so thankful that my tractor is at spec equipment and not here.
Right?
Because one, at their facility, there had to be some really major stuff happen for like a tree to fall on it or anything like that. It's insured. I don't have to worry about it, but it's a lot nicer to have to know that it's in a safe place.
Yeah.
Because knowing Dave and knowing Stack over there, they pulled all of their customer stuff into that big honking bay. And so that way it was protected.
Or they probably secured stuff that they knew could be picked up by things. And really, if you think about that area, there's really not any trees close. So they may have moved whoever's they could into the bays, and then if they couldn't fit anymore, they probably moved them to the center of the parking lot, at the center of there, because there's no tree that's gonna, hit that spot.
And they're chasing down an electrical thing with my tractor right now, and but I was so thankful that it was there. That was one less thing off my plate I had to worry about.
That's true.
And this is when, when Justin was talking about a long time ago, he was talking about when you first start a homestead, that he said you should just sit there and not do much of anything for the first year. So you learn what gets flooded, what doesn't get flooded, everything throughout the seasons. Yes. I don't know if I could wait a year to be able to do something like that, but yes, we're constantly paying attention every season, every year, and we're gonna have a video coming out because we did something this year
by accident
that was meant for this goal, but saved our backside when it came to the hurricane.
Yeah.
And it was not a blip on our radar. I'll be 100% honest. I'll be 100% transparent. We did not go, well, if this ever happens, this could help. No, we never even thought about it. Never even mentioned it in the original video.
No, but let's be honest. Most people are never preparing for the storm that we had, especially where we live. Where we live, most people are not thinking Category 4 hurricane. No.
No, most people are not.
No. Right. And most people now are. And that's the other thing that I wanted to say is that, as homesteaders, obviously, we pay attention to the weather because of the rain, because of the frost, all of that different stuff. We had people that were totally oblivious because in this day and age, nobody has local news. Everybody watches stuff on the internet.
That was very frustrating too because I gave up watching the news a long, long time ago. But I wanted to catch local weather, and it was not to be found. I could catch weather out of Florida.
Yep.
I could catch weather out of DC.
Yep.
But not Greenville, not Augusta.
No.
Not
we would have to physically go to their YouTube channel or their site or whatever.
Yeah, but even a lot of those weren't doing their,
Uh-huh.
Augusta wasn't doing theirs and stuff like that. So a lot of people, and I think because of that lack of being able to get your local news without that little digital box.
Yeah. So that was something that, but because of that, we have really been hypersensitive lately, paying attention to the weather, because we're at the end of hurricane season, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, we're slap in the middle, not right good.
Well, yeah.
But one of the things is the good old YouTube algorithm. As long as it's not homesteading, preparedness, or if you mention Jesus or God, or gardening or anything like that, the YouTube algorithm works great. Because we were trying.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Because we were trying to pick up on stuff with the weather. We got hit with I go to my news section on YouTube now, and it's nothing but weather stuff.
Yeah.
I can't find anything about the stupid election. I got all weather stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what brought us into tonight's topic. They are saying that we are going to, in our area, in the South, we are going to have a dry, warmer than average winter.
Because of, I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with El Nino weather, but this is La Nina. It's a different
monster.
Whatever. And I'm sure Mama Z, she does a lot with weather. She could probably tell us a little bit more in detail. But this La Nina is what is causing these issues. And so we're forecasted to have a drier than usual and warmer than usual winter.
Like we may have another 80 degree 80 degree winter or Christmas.
Kyle said, so better get ready for tons of snow. Well, this is a little bit different than like your local forecaster that's like 50% right. This is using a little bit of science, right?
Well, I don't know, because he's exactly Kyle's exactly what you and I've been talking about today. Now, first and foremost, if we have a dry, warm winter, be prepared for a lot of pest control videos
next summer. Yes.
Because we're going to be inundated with squash beetles, the hornworm, aphids, slugs, you name it. The pests or ants. Pests are going to be out of control.
Yep.
And so that first and foremost, that we have already started to look. We've already started to try to plan our summer garden, and with that key aspect right there in mind is if it is, we have to make sure our companion planting is on point.
We will be planting so many marigolds. You'll be looking and seeing nothing but marigolds on our property.
we may even build more like Carolina wren bird houses to put around the garden. I really got to get that bat house up. And really start to encourage natural predators. That the wasp that puts the plants the egg on the back of the bug, and the larva hatches and then eats the bug. So we really want to encourage a lot of those daddy long legs. I'm gonna do my best to be a daddy long leg breeder. If I will go daddy long leg hunting out in the woods and whatnot to get them and bring them to my garden, because how much they decimate aphids and
we've been pretty like this year. We've had a lot of spiders. I'm sure everybody has seen spiders everywhere. The orb weavers or whatever.
That's the flying nasty.
Well, the Joro or whatever. We've had a couple of those. We've seen. But we even had a black widow on the property. But we've had quite a few spiders this year. Like spider webs are everywhere, and so
which has helped me with my kung fu.
Lost dude, what's up? Yeah.
Well, you say bat house and then he shows up.
Of course, right? Yeah. But anyway, all of that to say, yes, we have to pay attention because of pest control and pests, but also it prompted the conversation of, because we're in the midst of planting for fall and winter, and
replanting because of
right.
hurricane.
And so we decided we were talking about the different stuff, and obviously your mustards, your collards, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all those things. Well, one of the things we were talking about doing was growing some sugar snap peas.
That's one of the things, yes.
And the question was, well, we're a little late to plant sugar snap peas because they're frost tolerant, but they're not frost hardy per se. But the question was, how do you weigh that out to make the decision on, do you take the gamble and plant those peas so that you will have Daddy's getting your buzzer. You better move. You better go. He's gonna get you. She's misbehaving. Uh-oh. Daddy's gonna get you. Yo. Yep. Better go. So we've been discussing back and forth, and I figured we'd, throw that out to y'all. What are your thoughts on taking a gamble on trying to grow something that you could potentially lose to the weather, the cold weather? What do you think about that? Garlic. Yeah, so we're gonna grow garlic. We've got.
Well, we got the hookup, and we got some
copper kettle.
We got some awesome garlic bulbs from a friend, which lo and behold is only 10 minutes away from Carol.
Yes, it's very cool.
They may not know what's coming, but we'll go ahead and say there's going to be a lot of visits in the future.
Palmetto said, beep, gone like the wind. She was, as soon as she went beep,
I'm not playing with her, but she had a little attitude today, and I ain't lucky I didn't just hit her with the full juice. This is.
I keep forgetting that's
same
behind
conversation
me.
we had all the time.
I know. Well, it's hard for me. Like
conversation. I need a zzz.
Look who else is here. Donald Smith.
What's up, Donald? I miss playing Valheim with y'all. Anyway, I'm having so many issues with that game, but anyway.
He said, "You're welcome."
Back to the garlic. I cannot wait to get. We still need to dry out some more before I'm going to put his garlic bulbs in the ground. We
were looking at the ground today, and it's still sopping wet.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if sopping the right word is. It's
in some areas it is.
It's squishy. With liquid that comes out of it. So that might be sopping. Yeah.
I'm his lame.
Let's see. What else? So yeah, we are literally. Me personally, this is what
I
I
could
say.
never.
This is what I say. I say we put the stuff in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the proverbial: you throw poop at the wall until something sticks.
Sure. I mean, you aren't wrong because we have so much room.
Yeah, because I'm thinking at the end of the day, putting the seed in the ground, and if it doesn't germinate because the soil's too cold or whatever, it's already planted
For the spring.
for the spring, and it'll end up coming up out there
Early. Yeah.
earlier. And so let's say it's the sugar snap peas, and they don't germinate for some reason in the ground. But come around, March, April, boink, they start popping out of the ground. Well, guess what?
We got a head start.
We got a head start.
Right.
So
I see, but I'm gonna cheat. Like I'm gonna start them from seed in the house. Like I want to, because the seed is not this year's seed to begin with. So I want to make sure that it's viable before I just pop it in the ground.
yeah.
So I'm gonna make seedlings, but again, oh crap! I forgot to go check those and see if they had any transplant shock. But so I want to start some from seed and then put them out. We've grown quite a bit in containers this year. A lot in containers this year.
Tabasco peppers do phenomenal.
Yes.
In
containers.
I don't have Tabasco plants.
Mm-mm.
I don't have Tabasco bushes.
Mm-mm.
I got Tabasco trees.
We do. They're massive. I could not believe how.
Same way with the cayennes.
See, he said I spent all day potting my pepper plants to overwinter in the house because it's supposed to get below 40 tonight. See, it's going to be in the 40s still here. But that's another thing we were talking about. Like, we have all these...
They got to come in probably this week or next week.
Yeah, we've got all of these cayenne and Tabascos that have done so well in small space.
Yeah, and the nice thing about them being in those containers is all I got to do is go get the hand truck.
Pick them up and bring them in.
Pick them up, wheel them into the house,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just going to have to... what we could do? And I'm just spitballing here.
Okay.
We could take that really big Tabasco.
Uh-huh.
That could be our Christmas tree.
I mean, it already looks like a Christmas tree because the peppers look like little lights. I mean, when I tell you that plant in that corner brings me so much joy every time I see it.
And if somebody shows up that we necessarily don't really want to spend Christmas with, and you can say, hey, this is an edible
Christmas tree.
Go ahead and try one of those sweet looking lights right there.
Be sure you broadcast. I have loofah seed. I actually ordered some this year because I gave away all of mine because I wasn't allowed to have it in the house. But I got some this year, but I didn't get it started in time. I grow tons of peppers because I sell hot sauce. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. But we're going to try, and of course I'm going to film it. We're going to try to ferment some Tabasco and try to make some Tabasco sauce. So
now we're also going to try something this winter. Mm-hmm. We've already got, you guys saw the video that Robin did with the self-watering container from Vigo that had the trellis on it.
I don't know that I posted it on YouTube. I think I did it on maybe Facebook or Instagram. I don't know that I actually did a video on YouTube, but.
Okay, so go to Instagram and look for it.
Pretty sure it's on Instagram.
But we are going to try to grow something in that. We've got it stationed behind the wood burning stove, so it will stay warm, but won't get tremendously hot.
Right.
And I'm going to put a light bulb on it over top of it. So it, you know, at first we were thinking about maybe like try to do a tomato or something, but I don't necessarily know.
There's so much, there's so much that would go into that because we'd have to keep it hot and it would just, it's just too much.
But we do have a vining spinach that we got from Baker Creek.
And most of y'all are probably familiar with it. It's Malabar.
Yeah.
Malabar spinach. And so we thought about growing that.
Growing that in there, and with where we've got it located, we also have our garlic and onion drying rack up there. So we could literally let it grow up the trellis from the Vigo thing and keep on going and then let it come down. And we could just let it, you know, we could pin it and do all kinds of things to just let it go around the roof line or the trim work of the house.
I don't know that it vines that much, but yeah.
But if it does, it does.
But if it does, it does. Did I send you pictures of the new chicken tractor I designed and built?
No.
Don't believe so.
You don't text me, call me, or nothing anymore, so no. But of course that goes both ways. I haven't called or texted him either, so.
Well, at least I had the forethought to message his wife and say, hey, before you miss it again, just wanted to let you know. Oh, this says fast growing plant, soft stem, twining vine that can grow up to 10 feet long as an annual or longer as a perennial. So if we can grow it as a perennial, can you imagine what that would be? That would be so cool.
Yeah.
I text you every 6 months or so. It's been more than 6, hasn't it? No?
No, I think it's been right at 3 or 4 since the last time we talked.
Oh, okay.
But that's in the we're right now as it's being forecasted. You know, it's a crapshoot. So I want to know whether you put it in this chat box or you think about it and you put it in the comments after this video posts. I want to know how many of y'all would take the gamble.
Yes, I'm very curious about that, and I will probably do a Facebook
or we'll do it. Maybe even do a YouTube poll. How many of y'all would plant? Roll the dice and plant, or how many of you would be like, nope, not gonna risk it,
not worth it.
Not worth it.
I'm just curious.
We're going to do it because, for one reason only, we're going to be using older seed. So
if it doesn't germinate,
it doesn't germinate. You know, we're not out anything. But if this pattern continues to take place, then it will give us a little bit of a reference point to make more educated decisions later on down the line. Because I always like to take the winter time for hunting, trapping, construction. And so if it's going to be winter, warm winter, I don't like
warm winter.
I don't like hunting in the warm.
Oh no, who does? Ugh.
I don't like hunting in the warm.
I don't like trapping in the warm either.
No, I don't mind trapping in the warm because most of the time. Now I will tell you this: if it's going to be a
drier than normal, I thought about it at the same time.
Canines beware.
better watch out.
I'm coming for you. I have not had a good canine cat trapping season in probably almost a decade because of how wet we always get, and it just
every January it is a
I'm
monsoon.
already fighting just the nasty hard ground here in the granite capital of the world.
Although, thank you, Helene, it's kind of loosened a couple of things.
But I mean, you're still gonna hit
rock and stuff, yeah.
Granite. And so, but again, most around me, I don't really see that many of them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, if we're gonna have a little bit more warmer and drier than normal, I'm also going to try to capitalize on that and really adjust the pastures the way that we talked about doing it. Because like how we've been saying in these live streams and stuff, that Blaze is gone, Carol's gone, Des is knocking on the door of leaving. And so we're going to be empty nesters. And so we have to, and we're not spring chickens anymore. I mean, I know looking at me right now, I do look drop dead sexy and massive and like I'm just an awesome athletic champion or whatever. But I'll be 100% transparent. Looks can be deceiving. It hurts in the morning waking up.
Snap, crackle, pop.
And
empty nest is so far away from me. I know, right?
Get it?
Puts the lotion in the basket. I don't want your nasty lotion.
But
sorry, my hands are
anyway.
really dry.
So we're planning.
Go do Dad's special bath if you
It's
have
already done.
Okay, good.
So we have to plan now how to be able to homestead.
If just the two of us. Just the two of us.
And at 70
We can make it if
years
we try.
old, if we don't kill one another. You know, and so one of the things that we're going to be investing in more is those Vigo raised beds.
Bowman's Homestead.
What's up,
Hello.
Bowman? Because they're, 32 inches high?
Something like that. I'm about to turn 40 and I still have a 2-year-old. Well, you know what causes that, right? Just say it.
Sometimes you just gotta back that thing up. Put it in reverse. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, anyway. But yeah, so now that we're getting a little bit older, we're having to look at things from a different perspective.
Yeah. Old people perspective.
Oh,
I mean, I'll be 50 in March.
it's 9 o'clock and we're like, it's bedtime.
And so we're going.
Yep, and I will keep causing it. He's trying to repopulate the earth. Oh, that's funny.
You have to wait till we get through the book of Revelation. Not before.
Never been here, but I watch your how to see if your chickens are done laying video and subscribe. Cool.
Thank you.
And that, it's that one, and also knowing the difference between a girl and a boy at a young age, like to be able to look at a pullet or a cockerel and to know. That information has been so helpful even here, because we've had a couple, we've been, moving birds around, and we're able to look and be like, okay, there's that sickle feather, like that's, and they're still small enough that you're like, but that sickle or the hackles, all of that stuff. So all of that information is really helpful. I'm glad that you were able to use it. We buy chickens to resell, and the last I bought wasn't laying. Yeah. The world doesn't end. First, in 100 years, I'm going to be like 1,000 people.
I'm not touching that. And so, what are we talking about?
Well, we were talking about the gamble of planting everything, and we went on to talking about 70-year-old. You said I'd get ready to be 50. So.
And I was, the first 50 years of my life, I was not easy on my body.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marine Corps did not help.
No.
And so I have to, there are certain things that I have to do now that your average Joe Schmo doesn't have to do. Like in all honesty, I have to work out. I can't get around it anymore. Not only just for my physical well-being, but for my mental health,
Absolutely, yes.
well-being. I don't take hot showers anymore.
You don't take hot showers anymore? Crazy.
I mean, when I'm at the Y, I don't have a choice because it's like you turn the water on a little bit, that's your cold, and then if you go past a little bit, it's automatically becoming warm.
Right.
But now I have a water trough stationed outside that we fill up with the water hose. My well's over 400 foot deep, so that water is anywhere from around 48 to 52 degrees. And twice a day, first thing in the morning after chores, and then right before I go to bed, I get in that. And I sit in there for 6 to 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes to let the inflammation get knocked away.
Yep. Wait till you're turning 60 in 4 months. Cold and barefoot is the key.
Yeah. And so I, there are certain things like that I have to do. It drives Robin crazy because in the nighttime, I just bathe out there. After I'm done, I just bathe. I just take a bar of soap, clean myself up, dunk myself. I'm done with it. Now tonight I'm gonna probably wash my hair because we didn't make it to the gym today because we had some hiccups here. But I mean that's just the way of life.
But
now.
you notice that your mental health also, and it was not as great today because you didn't get a chance to go work out. I'll run a hot bath in the garden tub with essential oils, Epsom salts, and after a good soak, sometimes I jump straight into a cold shower. Yeah?
Yeah.
Look into grounding, walking barefoot. It's so funny because both of our girls don't like wearing shoes.
Yeah, they don't like wearing shoes.
And so they are barefoot a lot. And we were always fussing at them because, like, one time I had to take Carol in because Ladessa.
No, it was Carol.
Was it Carol? Yeah. Took Carol in because she literally
cut her foot.
Yeah, cut her foot. And
yeah. Now, one of the things that, that we are, on that subject, that we are doing, we are, in our front yard, we are definitely starting to make sure that it's more picked up, cleaned up, and we do walk more barefoot around out in the front yard and around in the kitchen garden area. And so, I don't know if that really has, I can't, because I'm doing so much with different things. And I did it all at the same time. I can't really tell you if I know the ice bath.
Well, you say ice. It's not ice cubes.
Well, cold bath.
But cold.
It will
cold
be
bath.
hopefully in a couple
weeks
to a month. It'll be an
Yeah.
ice bath. But that I have been going out there barely being able to walk, being in so much pain, sitting in that ice bath for 10 minutes and be fine coming out. It's literally like a magic wand. Now, by the end of the day, where I'm like here now, I need to get my fat butt out there and get in there and sit for a little while. And sometimes, some days, the pain's just so bad, it doesn't make it go away. But it'll ease it a little bit. And then I have to take the anti-inflammatory, or Robin will put essential oils on the places that they need to go. And, you know, it is what it is. But also, I have to now keep that kind of stuff in mind when I'm building things. You know, I got to make my nesting boxes stop at about belly level because I don't want to have to bend over to get the eggs. If I can have raised beds that are 32, 40 inches tall, where I have to fill them 3/4 of the way up with wood chips first, and then 6 or 8 inches of topsoil to be able to garden in them. So that way I don't have to try to squat down and pick my tomatoes or pull weeds or
planting that yesterday.
Or planting or
it was awful.
Anything like that. This is what I'm going to have to do now in order to keep going with this. And this is what we want to do, because make no doubt about it, we have to stay living this lifestyle. And this lifestyle of going to the gym and homesteading is it for us. Like we talked about wanting to start to when the girls are going to start to travel. But I'll be honest with you, sitting in a car for an hour and a half ride down to Augusta messes up my day. I get in a lot of pain. We were looking at possibly purchasing an RV to be able to go and do these things. We started looking at some of the prices on those things, and the ones that are a van RV are $100,000, and I'm like, no, I didn't pay. I paid that for my 21-acre homestead. No.
But again, I think you have a good point, is that being in a vehicle for a while is not fun.
Well, I mean, with those, we can take turns driving, and I can get up and walk around and stuff in the back. But with one that's a pull behind, I can't do that. And so it's, you know, it's granted, it's still up for discussion. You know, maybe we could take a train someplace and go for a long weekend, or fly and go for a long weekend or something. But it's traveling, you know, having the retirement package of driving from Georgia to Colorado,
Grand Canyon,
it's just not. It's more than likely it's just not gonna happen for us, and it's not a financial thing. It's a pain thing,
right?
Because by the time that I got into the state of Alabama, I'm gonna be miserable, and it's not fair to her. It's not fair to me, and so
right.
It's one of those that it's just absolutely, it's heartbreaking. Don't get me wrong, it's heartbreaking. But at the same time, I'm now in the process of looking at things here to be able to set my place up here, so that way 60, 70-year-old Jason doesn't have to go in, doesn't have to get in a vehicle.
Right.
Because right now, 50-year-old Jason and vehicles don't really mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's prime example. We love Jess and Maya. They're really close personal friends of ours. But they are almost 2 hours away from us. To jump in the car and go visit them is not only make sure I get in the ice bath first, but probably pop some pain pills and then get in the car and go. That way the pain pills are kicking in right 30, 45 minutes before we get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can enjoy my time visiting with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carol is an hour away at Toccoa Falls.
Yeah, so that answers that question. She's not at UGA. She's at Toccoa Falls College.
I have to time it perfectly to get there so I can enjoy my time with Carol so I'm not in pain. But still, there are times that I'm not able to do that. We get caught in traffic or we get caught in this construction or something and I'm hosed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that's when Robin and I started having those discussions this year after Carol left. What do you want to do? Do you want to sell the homestead and just go get a little cabin up in the mountains somewhere and just go completely off grid? Take Louise with us, maybe take 1 or 2 breeder pigs with us, take the chickens. And, you know, be done with it and go down to a smaller scale, 5 acres, 7 acres. Or do you want to, make this place into our vacation retirement / homestead.
Right.
And so this is us now.
I believe it. Billy said my back is one of the reasons I haven't been back east in 2 years.
Yeah.
And they were going back and forth about Carol going to Bama.
Not if she wants to stay in the wheel.
Bowman asked, where's everyone from? We're around Joplin, Mississippi. Or Missouri, I'm sorry. We're from Georgia. Palmetto's in the middle of the country. Lost Dude's in California, right?
I think so.
And I think Niana, they're in Kentucky, right? Isn't that what she said?
Let them tell where they're from.
They're not going to tell.
Well, if they're not going to tell, then it's not your place to tell.
Oh, okay. Anyway, it is 6 after 9. So, it's about time for us to start winding down. My phone told me it's time to wind down.
Your phone told you?
Yeah, right.
Where would we be without our phones
know, right?
to tell us it was better?
I actually do like that. Indiana. I always want to say Kentucky, but she's in Indiana. That's right. Texas and Arkansas. There you go. So
I would have never guessed Mama Z was in Texas. Just would have just completely. I would have been like Oklahoma, New Mexico.
But we are so glad all of y'all came to.
Yeah, thanks. That's a big number we had tonight. I think we were up to like 15, 16 at one point, which is
refreshing.
The norm. If you are a member, a channel member, 2nd tier or above, you do not want to miss Thursday's members only live stream.
We will definitely be having it.
There's going to be a big giveaway. It's got to be huge. It's definitely one you need to be there. That way we can get addresses. I'm pretty sure we have them. but I just want to make sure we got the right ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are going to also have a completely different topic and a completely different conversation that we may not necessarily ever have
Here.
So Thursday, we're looking probably about this time. Robin may be by herself. I may have to go pick up Carol. And we may just do it from the road. To be honest with you, we may just do it from the road.
Depending on what time we have to pick her up.
I don't know. She hasn't said yet. Because Carol starts her winter break on Thursday.
Yes.
So she's going to get a super long weekend.
Yeah, because it's basically midterm for them. Ladessa's on to 8 week sessions, so she's in finals this week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a madhouse around here for that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get. She is a huge stress ball, and I can't wait to be done with it for a couple days.
For
And
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you get 4 days.
that's all I need. That's all I need.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for
coming. Be on the lookout for videos next week.
They are coming, I promise.
They are coming. I'm saying next week because it's Monday. Right? Today Monday. It's Monday now, and we're almost done with this tobacco that we've got going on, and getting it fixed, getting it squared away. And as soon as that's done, we are filming. And we're going to share how we, the very first video out is going to be how we fared with the hurricane. And then the next video after that's going to be about the thing that we did that we didn't realize that we did that helped us fare as well as we fared
As we did.
from the hurricane.
Yep.
So, if that doesn't confuse you.
I don't know what does. All right, y'all. I love y'all.
Thanks for coming.
God bless. Y'all have a good night.
God bless y'all.